Hello everyone, welcome back to Performance Engineering Insights YouTube channel. In the previous sessions, we were talking about CPU utilization. In this session, we will discuss about performance issues. What are the types of performance issues that occur in the production systems or performance test environment? What is the root cause for each type of performance issues, and what is the approach we can follow to identify which component in the system is causing the performance issues in the system. Okay, so performance issues can occur in single user load or in the multi-user load. So when I say single user, it means that there is only one user is accessing the application, and as a multi-user, it is more than one user is accessing the application. The kind of issue that occurs during single user load are high response time. It means a response time of the business transaction is high, or page load time is high. So this is the kind of performance issue that occurs when there is only one user is in the system. A root cause for this kind of issues in most of the cases is poor code or SQL elapsed time. So these are the two reasons why usually the response time of a single user is more than SLA or more. Okay, an approach I will discuss in detail in the next slide. Coming to the multi-user, so as we know, this is the kind of issue that occurs when more than one user is accessing the application. The type of issues in case of multi-user load are increase in response time with increased user load. It means as we increase the user load, response time of the business transactions or API goes high. Server crash, application crash, and server is not responding, and many more. Okay, so these are the four key performance issues that occurs under multi-user load. So we also call these issues as scalability issues as well. The root cause of multi-user performance issues are contention. So we'll see what exactly is the contention. Contention is basically when more than one thread is trying to update the shared resource at the same time, then contention occurs. For example, if two people are trying to print a document or a paper using a printer at the same time, so then any one user can start printing a document first, and other user has to wait until the printing of the first user completes, because printer cannot print two papers at the same time because the writes are always synchronous. Okay, so that's what contention is all about. And in a software product or a software application, so we can see where and all contention can occur. If you consider this is the typical two-tier system layout. Here we have two layers, application layer, and this one is the database layer. So it is a two-tier application architecture. Okay. If you consider application server, there will be four layers in general. Okay. So the bottommost layer is the hardware, where we have CPU, memory, I/O, and a network which connects application server and database server, and this in turn connects to the client here as well. Okay, so on top of this particular hardware, we will have a operating system. So usually we will have Windows, Linux, AX, and there are many more operating system available in the market. So, and on top of that, we will have application software. So there we configure application threads, zip configuration, database connection, and so on and so forth. On top of that, we will deploy the application. Basically, it is business logic implementation. In the similar lines, we have at the bottommost layer hardware, that is CPU, memory, network, I/O, even for the database server as well, and operating system on top of that. And database server, it is Oracle. There are many more databases, right? Databases are there in the current market, and we will have PL, SQLs, or SQLs on topmost layer. If you see, let us understand what is the probability of these components are causing the problem. So in general, most of these components will cause contention when multi-users are trying to access the application. So when I say CPU, memory, IO, yes, during multi-user load, definitely there may be a contention of this layer, okay, because we will not have as many CPUs as many number of concurrent users in the system, right? Because that is not required as well. The same way memory, IO, and network also. Okay, so there are chances that definitely these parameter causes performance issues under multi-user load. Again, operating system, in either it is the database server or application server or web server, the chances of this component causing the performance issues under multi-user load is very minimal. So it is very minimal. We don't find performance issues due to operating system under multi-user load. Okay, next, application software. So basically here we configure application threads and JVM if it is a Java application. So here we we configure what should be the garbage collection policy, database connections and all. Yes, there are cases as these parameters causes performance issues because again, as we said, we cannot have, not we cannot have, will not have uh, we will not have application number of application threads which is equivalent to number of users. Okay, so even by the way, that is not required as well. So in the same way for heap and database connections, so exists there are cases. So one thing we have to make sure that so none of these parameters, that is application threads, database connections, CPU, network, memory, IO, should not be 100%. So that check we have to do thoroughly during the multi-user load. Okay. So next on the business logic implementation, that is application code. Definitely, we can have multi-user performance issues. This layer definitely can contribute performance issues at multi-user. In the similar lines, here also in the even for the database layer, so this is quite common. These two layers play similar kind of role, but only one difference between web layer and as well as a database layer is on the IO. So usually in the application server, the rate at which we write IO, so it is very minimal compared to databases. Okay, so then in with that background, I think we might have to observe what is IOPS, input output per second, for the databases. Definitely this parameter is very crucial in case of database servers. Okay, so otherwise all other parameters will remain as it is. Again, database server will have many configurable parameters like number of processes, connections, and allocation of the PGAs. Though yes, in current um, database servers, the latest database servers, so this kind of allocation happens automatically, and manual intervention is not required. But still, I think you should make sure that the database configurations is not causing any performance issues under multi-user load. So next point is on the SQLs. It is very straightforward one. So we write SQLs and PL SQL for the manipulation of the data. Okay, definitely this layer also causes performance issues under multi-user load. I mean, when something goes wrong, when multi-user are trying to access the application, it is good to check these parameters. Okay, and by the way, there is no any hard and fast rule that you have to check this. You have to check all these parameters. Again, it depends on the overall experience and as well as experience with that particular application. Our approach can vary. Okay, so it is not that you have to check each and every parameter. We can start with some parameter to see if this parameter is causing the problem. If no, then we can start looking into other parameters to see which parameter or which component is causing the issues. Okay. So this is about a contention. Okay. So we'll discuss performance engineering approach in the next session. Thank you for watching.